All right, Oval fans, man, y'all were not playing. This was an amazing episode. It really was. It felt like, this episode alone, not even talking about next week, but this episode alone felt like a series finale. This this combined with the promo for next week has me going, dang, is the show ending after next week? If it did, I would probably be like, you know what, I'm cool with that. But this episode is a 10 out of 10. Now, if I really look deeper, I could find things that would just knock the episode down a couple of points, but in terms of like shock factor and the setup for next week, this is how you do it. I think there was a nice balance of setup for what's to come, enough interesting scenes to keep me intrigued from start to finish. Now, if I were to look at one scene, I think the Lily and Officer Heather scene, that could have been trimmed down just a little. But based on the way that scene played out, in terms of when, the officer went up to Donald's bedroom, that makes up for it. So before going further into the video, please take a moment, hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video, because it's crazy how now people want me to talk about the Oval when, a couple months ago, I'm like, man, I don't even know, should I even still review the show? My videos really aren't doing too crazy. Now everybody and their mother wants me to talk about it. All right, so thumbs up the video and hit subscribe, folks. We are less than 10,000 people away from 250,000 subscribers. 250,000 is that milestone. And, we're about to hit 241,000. All right. So basically, the episode starts off, picking up where we left off last week. Sharon is just shocked at what happened to Kareem. It was self-defense. It was. There's really no other way to put it. Yeah, did, she intend on killing him? Absolutely not. But it's just one of those things where that was straight up self-defense. I guess you can almost say that the correct, legal terminology is Kareem was holding Sharon hostage and, keeping her at his apartment against her will, because he was afraid of what would happen if she went to the police. So, yeah, that was straight up, self-defense. So Dale is rushing, not rushing, but he's helping a customer out of the store. That woman looked familiar. I feel like she has been in this pharmacy before on the Oval. I just don't remember when. But yeah, she was pretty much, upset that Dale was telling her the store was closed and, chastising him and Kareem's, like, what kind of business is Kareem running? Poor Dale, when you think about it, if I remember correctly, he was the one that opened the store, and he's been doing it solo all day. It's just been him. Got robbed, gun pointed to the back of his head. Who knows how many unruly customers he's had to deal with. Wild as hell. He had to do that by himself. So, customer says, I'm not coming back. All right, well, have a nice life. And then he just shuts the door and locks it. Calls Sharon. And in the back of the store, we notice Norman, and he's holding a box. So as Dale is calling Sharon, is like, so, where are you? Where's Kareem? She's just freaking out over the phone. It was just no need of calling her. Obviously, I know why he called, but there was no reason for her to even pick up if all she was, he's here. Okay, what is he doing? Like, okay, what are you doing all that howling for? Damn. All right, so as he gets off the phone, Norman approaches him and it freaks him out. He's like, it's like, the store is closed. Yeah, you locked me in here. Oh, well, let me unlock the door for you. But basically, he's there to do like a package swap. It's like, hey, I have a box here for Kareem, and I had a delivery. I'm here to swap it out. And Dale, who doesn't know who Norman is. He doesn't know what's going on. And yeah, given the circumstances, from Kareem freaking out over the Barry thing and not being able to adjust to, normal life again. Sharon finding the bloody phone, and, after learning about Barry being killed and whatnot, they're not thinking about, their product, which of course, like I said, Dale's only been working there for a couple of days and he's having to deal with all this. So this guy does what almost every customer service person wants to do once a shift if they've dealt with a lot of shit. He pulls out this huge ass gun, which, remember, Kareem had bought, that and a few other guns after the experiences with Hunter and whatnot, due to the fact that he was tired of being a victim. And, Dale pretty much impressed him by showing that he's capable of using those kind of guns. So Dale, no fucks given. He just straight up said, "Get the hell out of my store. I've just had a hell of a day. I ain't got time for this." But, as Norman's about to leave, he does warn him that, hey, trouble is coming if you don't swap that package. Dale doesn't want to hear it. "Will you lock me in?" "Twisted lock." Okay. That was pretty funny. So from there, we got Alonzo, who's telling Alan that he gave the drugs to Hunter, and Alan's like, "Okay, good. Wait, what do you mean by that?" "Oh, no, I'm just glad that you got him off your back. It's all good. We're going to meet after work later on tonight." Yeah, we will. So from there, I think Alonzo is like doing his rounds on that floor, hence why he comes back not long after Alan got off the phone with Norman. So wait, wasn't Antonio the name of the guy? Yeah, I think Antonio was the guy he was calling for the drugs. Norman must be another contact of his. Unless Antonio is an alias for Norman, that way he doesn't know what. You know what? No, I'm not even going to think about it. So, basically, we have, So he gets off the phone. Oh, I'm sorry. So basically, Alonzo walks away. Antonio calls Alan and says, "Yo, you send your boy down to the pharmacy?" "Yeah, just to get something." "Well, he took all the drugs." "Wait, what?" "No, he wouldn't do that. I saw the camera footage." "No, he's Secret Service. He would be smart enough not to do that on camera." "Yeah, he took the cameras footage from the pharmacy cameras, but I have my own camera set up." Oh, damn. So basically from there, he's like, "Look, if you don't get those drugs back here as soon as possible, that Mexican cartel is going to raise hell. They don't give a crap about the White House." So after Alonzo comes back down the hallway, Alan confronts him about it. And, Alonzo is just playing like he doesn't know what's going on. And it gets to the point where Alan finally gets him to confess. So he did take all those drugs. And he gave most of them to Hunter, not all of it. So basically, Alan makes Alonzo fork over the keys to the rental car. So Alan's got to go to the pharmacy to bring the drugs back. That way the Mexican cartel doesn't go smooth the hell off. So we go over to Priscilla and Nancy. And Nancy is just, still in her loopy mode. She's talking about how she wants to be with Barry. But thankfully, Priscilla puts a stop to that kind of talk as soon as possible. She's like, "You know what? I wasn't a good mother. I'm not a good person." And this conversation just shifts gears altogether. Truth be told, I had an aunt who had mental issues like this. It's kind of weird when you watch these kind of shows. And it's not like I'm triggered by watching the show. No, it's not that. But it just makes you realize when you have a family member like that and you're at a young age, it kind of shapes you in terms of, not knowing how to react when you see those kind of things. Because either no one explains it to you because you're a child, or you just grow up and it's like, oh, dang, there are different kinds of people out there. So it does make you more, I guess you could say, used to the variety of people you come across. Like, no people are the same, and you shouldn't look at someone differently because of their mental state, that kind of thing. But at the same time, I think what really hurts is seeing Priscilla react to this because of the fact that you just never know. It's like they say, it's like you could be saying goodbye to someone for the last time. You could be, just giving someone a last hug, a last handshake, or saying I love you one last time, and then they're gone. Even worse, is that while Nancy is technically still here, her mind and the Nancy that Priscilla knew is just long gone, at least till the drugs wear off. I was talking with somebody last night after I watched the episode, and they were like, man, come on now. How long them drugs gonna last? And I'm like, well, remember, she took that whole damn bottle of pills that day. Then Sharon took her to the hospital. Then Richard picked her up. This is all happening the same day, even though it's been a good, 3 to 4 episodes? But, Nancy's just a mess right now. Obviously taking far more than the Rakadushi recommended amount. But, Nancy just goes off, when Priscilla's like, okay, well, how you said you want to lay down? How about, I'll walk you upstairs so you can take a nap. What, you trying to sleep with me? No, I don't swing that way. And I'm married. How's Sam? That son of a bitch did you wrong. And, it's just so many mood swings. But, Nancy goes upstairs to lay down and Priscilla is just shocked. She's just completely stunned at what's going on here. And to jump ahead here, because there's no need of dragging it out, Richard comes home and Priscilla, is still on the couch. She just lets her know that Nancy said she's going to, be taking a nap. She's upstairs now. And, she looks at Richard like, hey, look, you look tired. I know you're going through a lot right now. Are you okay? Richard's just upset he still hasn't heard anything from Barry. And then before Priscilla leaves, Richard looks like he's about to sit down on the couch. He's like, hey, you're not going to go up there and check on her? No, well, I know Nancy is like, a quick sleeper. So I think maybe it's best for her to rest a little while and then I'll go up there. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Priscilla steps out. And after that, we go over to Sam at the White House. He's calling David and lets him know that, it's been pretty quiet around here, but that has me worried. And David's like, yeah, that's probably a sign, huh? Because they decide that it's best for the package to be moved. So David agrees. Like, he'll tell Sam, where they move to via breadcrumbs. So after they get off the phone, oh man, that's when David notices that it is too late. He peeks out the window. He notices, the cabin is being surrounded. The, Wi-Fi cell signals have been cut off. And he tells Jason, like, hey man, at this point, you said you don't want to go back, right? Yeah, I don't want to go back. You need to do exactly what I tell you to. No question. Do you know how to fire a gun? Yeah. You know what? Nah. Maybe that's not a good idea. Wait, what do you mean? Because if I give you this gun, son, and you shoot me, I will blow your freaking head off. But to be fair, David, I know you're saying that, and I don't think you're lying, but I think Jason would probably shoot you in the head. But in any case, he's like, you know what? I don't trust you. He's like, oh, dang. So from there, they prep because it's about to get real. Okay. So Hunter comes out of the Oval talking with Alonzo. He's just, you could tell he's high. And he likes those drugs. Like, man, I haven't had a batch of that good in a while. You got a new guy? Yes, sir. Well, you did good. Thank you, sir. He's just, eating up the praise. And he wants to go on another outing. He's like, I'll go upstairs and shower and get ready. But, I want to get blown. Oh, wait, never mind. Better not do it by some random prostitute. Might be another informant. But we'll figure something out. So he goes upstairs. And as he does, Alonzo calls Kyle to give him an update on it. And he tells him about how the president wants to go out. And he's like, this is not a good time. Should I tell the chief of staff? Well, you tell me, you're telling him. Okay, keep me posted. Yes, sir. So Eli is in his office at home and calls Victoria. Or is it the other way around? But basically, Victoria gives him an update on the Jason situation. And she will fill him in as soon as she gets information on like his whereabouts and whatnot. And, she talks about how Simone is supposed to come out to the White House tomorrow for lunch and she doesn't want to see her. Eli will try to talk her out of it, but there's only so much he can do. And Victoria just talks about how Hunter's over there getting high, wishes he would OD so she will be free of their marriage, and then talks about how if both of their spouses were dead, then they can be together. And she says this as she rolls her eyes. I wish that I married you as we could have been together. I know, right? I love you. So as he says this, we see Simone outside of his door and he gets off the phone. And, she comes in there looking, whew, man, looking better than a 2-piece in a biscuit. But she's there, to kind of say, entice him, if you will, from doing work to come upstairs. But then gets to who were you on the phone with? John, I forgot if she said I heard you or I saw you, in terms of reading his lips say I love you. I love y'all. An Ivy League person like yourself, when do you start using the word y'all? Come on now, come on, stop tripping. And then she just leaves. And Eli knows all shit. I mean, you would think he would be a little more careful by now. Hasn't it been at least 1 or 2 times where Victoria has caught him slipping? And you're still just going to, I mean, at least he didn't get caught beating himself, because what was it? The video chat they did that one time, and he was doing, he unzipped his pants. I'm like, bro, your doors and windows are glass. Like you don't have any kind of chill here, man. Come on. Because I think Victoria even asked, if you can come back to the White House right now. So that would have been pretty wild if he had done that. But we go over to Priscilla driving home, and she's telling Bobby, and remember, Max and Bobby, I don't think we've seen the hotel room they've been staying in quite a while. I honestly can't remember. The last time I remember was when Lily left there for the last time, saying she was going to, go to Maine or something to be with some dude, so that was the last time I recall seeing it. But Priscilla calls saying she's going home to change, and then she's coming over to the hotel to meet with Bobby. After they get off the phone, Max is sitting there warning him, like, man, don't do it. And Bobby's like, well, hey, you warning me. Here's a word of warning. It's probably going to be pretty noisy when she gets here. Well, oh, you trying to get rid of me, huh? Fine, that's all good. I'm going to get my blazer. I'm going to go to the bar for a drink. Come on, man. What? Yeah, you do that. Well, also, I don't want to be here for the showdown. What do you mean? Because I know Sam's going to come through that door and turn this place out. Bobby don't give no fucks. So Max leaves, and Bobby is, waiting for his woman to get there. So when Max gets to the bar, he gets a phone call but ignores it. Then the phone just keeps on ringing. So then he decides to answer, and it's Sam. Sam asks, hey, are you busy right now? Because I need your help moving a package. And, Max is like, well, hey, I had a drink or two, so I don't know if I'm the best guy to depend on. How many you had? 3? Damn. Well, it sounds important, so I'll meet you at a location. So Sam and Max agree to meet up. Then, as before Max can even queue up the balls to play pool, can I get a coffee to go? So Donald gets a call from Kyle as he's getting into bed, and he wants to ID the 2 men in the cabin. See, Donald wants it done quick, fast, in a hurry, but Kyle wants to make sure they have the right guys, because apparently there was a mission called Bel Grande, and that was a situation where I think Kyle and his goons went in guns a-blazing, and as a result, 3 innocent women who were not the targets got killed. And then Donald chastises him. He's like, see, in that situation, I told your ass to wait, but you didn't. But that taught you to listen, huh? So in this situation, it's like Kyle doesn't want to make the same mistake twice, but Donald wants to get the job done. That's something interesting about Kyle. It doesn't make him a redeemable character, but it's something I've noticed. I think this is like the 3rd time that Kyle has been on one of these missions where he's supposed to, eliminate a target or targets. And once he's in the midst of it, he has to call Donald for reassurance, or he calls Donald and say, look, man, I think we're going too far. And then you see a different side of him. It's like, at the end of season 2, when he was supposed to abduct Max's son. And I think it happened one other time too, but I just don't remember. But in any case, we're just seeing this side of Kyle, where it's almost like, wow, he does have a heart, even though he's a complete murderous, psychopathic asshole. So, the end of the episode, might as well jump to it. We see Kyle and Kane in the car as the cabin is being surrounded by at least 12 to 20 guys. So Richard I know this is at the very end of the episode. I'm kind of skipping around here. Richard, he goes upstairs to check on Nancy, and I predicted this. I did a video a few days ago. I said, will Nancy kill herself? I don't really have anything to say here. I predicted this. Richard's acting was really good. I did feel for the guy. He's like, Nancy, why would you do this? Oh, Nancy. Damn, that was pretty dark. It was really dark, and I don't know how much commotion this kind of stunt pulls, but you would think Priscilla may have heard something, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where, and I'm not blaming Priscilla. I'm not, because, you know, part of me would have blamed her if she was just adamant to go. It's like, look, she's just worried about, you know, getting with her Bobby baby, that she's letting her own friend, you know, to her own devices to kill herself. But nah, Priscilla, I could just tell how distraught she was, because 1 minute, like I said earlier in the video, 1 minute she's talking with Nancy like everything is okay. Well, you know, not the circumstance of everything that's been going on, but 1 minute she's talking to Nancy and Nancy's normal, just a little depressed over the whole Barry thing and being worried. But to actually see her reduced to this, sad, really is. So, wait a minute. I think that was it. Oh yeah. The last thing to talk about. Lily's on the couch where she's been for like the past 7 episodes. Officer Heather pops in and says he took out the 3 guards, and yeah, this kind of drags on a little bit. Lily's like, Brian, you need to calm down. Brian, you need to go. But then it kind of clicks, I guess, in a moment of realization. I'm not going to lie. If somebody just busts into my, well, if I had a house, but, if somebody busts in there, I'd be like, what the hell? But in any case, she does realize, she puts 2 and 2 together like, wait a minute, this is the opportunity I've been waiting for. This is my chance to get free. So, Brian is, saying that, I got to do this. This man ruined my life, and I just wish we could have met under different circumstances. I wish I could have gotten to know you better. And he just starts going in. He just starts kissing Lily. I ain't gonna lie, Lily's a fine piece of woman. But, then again, he's going out on like a quote-unquote Suicide Squad mission, so he's going to get him a little something while he can. So, he starts kissing her or whatnot. And I guess Donald was right that nobody really is nice and everybody just wants to sleep with her. So that's why, he was nice to her. Yeah. But in any case, Lily, you could tell she was having some, flashbacks to Bobby. But hey, I'm just saying, look, if it was Bobby and he was doing what Brian was doing, they would have got it on the couch. I'm just saying. I just feel like Lily wouldn't just be able to, maybe because Bobby doesn't take no for an answer, but, I feel like Bobby, he would have bust and then went upstairs and, bust a few caps and Donald's behind. But yeah, Brian, maybe Lily's just, oh man, I haven't felt like this in quite a while. But in any case, she's like, so what are you going to do? Because he's like, hey, do you have a car? Yeah. Well, you need to get out of here. Well, nobody's going to believe if I tell them what happened. Look, just say that I broke in, and I attacked you. And when you came to, you left. Tell him that I did it. So he punches her like in the eye, or in the face, in the eye, to kind of give her like a bruise, a black eye. And she gets up and then scurries out of there. So then Brian goes upstairs and look, I've never held a gun. I don't own a gun. I don't know jack shit about guns. But how many rounds does it hold? Obviously, there are different types of guns. Like obviously the gun that Brian used and the gun that Dale was holding at the beginning of the episode, clearly different models. How many rounds does a gun that size typically have? Because I counted at least a dozen bullets that Brian fired. Holy crap. Was it a body double? Was it not Donald in the bed? He can't go out like this. I'll do a separate video. I want to be honest here. I think it was Donald. Reason being, you look at the last scene he had with Kyle, it just shows what kind of irredeemable asshole he really is. And usually when you have moments like that, it just seems like their comeuppance is coming. So I think that was Donald. Enough said. And looking over my notes, I believe that is the episode in itself. So I did love this episode. Easily better than any Sisters episode from season 5. I just hope when we get to the Oval season 5, the momentum keeps up. Every episode isn't going to have bodies dropping, but I do hope like the quality does stay, because this is how you do an episode. It truly felt like the Haves and Have-Not series finale, but this is really good. So there was a part I forgot to mention. When Sharon calls 911 to get an ambulance to come over because somebody had fallen through a wooden table. It's mentioned by the dispatch that there were actually a couple of police officers in the area. One phone call came from a neighbor who heard a lot of commotion coming from the apartment, and then another call came from the pharmacy, but I don't know who made that call. I don't know if Dale would have made the call because of the fact that 1, he saw the drugs. 2, yes, he was robbed. 3, Alonzo made it clear he was law enforcement. 4, I don't think Dale would make the call because that would just lead to even more questions and poking around and, officers finding stuff Dale didn't want them to find because 1, he didn't know it was there, and 2, he didn't want to get into any more trouble. And, of course, he wouldn't want to be in a situation where he, blows the whistle on White House officials, leading to even more issues for him. Could it have been Norman? I don't know, because obviously the whole drug operation runs from the pharmacy, so he wouldn't want to put bells and whistles and a neon sign to say, "Hey, come here to look for illegal activity." Could it have been the rowdy customer that Dale rushed out of the store? I don't know. It just honestly could not tell you. A lot of stuff is going down, so I don't know who made that call. But in any case, when Sharon's on the phone, there's a knock on the door, and it's actually Dale. She thought it was the police. Poor Dale. If he would have come maybe 10 seconds later. So he goes in there. He sees Kareem. He's freaking out. He doesn't know what's going on. And then the cops show up. And look, maybe I'm reading the scene too much, but I found it kind of, that the cops show up and they see both Sharon and Dale standing there. To my knowledge, they don't know that Dale just showed up. I mean, did they see him go inside the building? Were they right behind him? I don't know. But just notice how they're quick to kind of put all the blame on Sharon. What happened? Well, he was, sir, stand back. It's kind of like they push Dale away from the situation. Like, oh, we know you had nothing to do with this, sir. Just step back. Let's talk to this black girl. And then one of the cops checks for a pulse and he's dead. So from there, a homicide is called in. And that's it. And I'm just like, again, it's just like in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier after meeting Isaiah Bradley for the first time when Sam and Bucky are in the street and they're just talking. Well, Sam is, just yelling at Bucky. Then the cops pull up in the midst of their argument and they're quick to assume that Sam is starting some trouble and they go to arrest him until they realize who he is. And then when Bucky is being apprehended because he missed a therapy session, notice how differently they treat him compared to Sam. And it's just like a lot of assumptions are made here. But again, maybe I'm reading into it too much. But that's all I got to say about the episode. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.